English Teacher, Part 45. Motivating your students. Much of your job as a teacher is to create conditions and structures activities that will motivate your students to achieve their full performance potentials. Your topic should be to motivate your students by being encouraging, energetic, exciting, and stimulating. To attain these professional targets, you will need to structure some essential preconditions. Number one, a positive learning climate that is supportive and relaxed but businesslike. Number two, a reasonable and efficient classroom management routines, organizations, and procedures. Number three, good relationships and positive rapport with your students based on your encouragement, understating, and patience. The teacher as model. To promote these ends, it is important for you to model interest in learning, to project enthusiasm, for enthusiasm rubs off. You can show by your manner as well as by your words that course material is important. Make it plain that you expect your students to be interested in learning, to be curious, to understand content and master skills, and to try their best to do so. Explain that you value learning because it is personally fulfilling, intrinsically rewarding. Encourage your student to tell you about things that they find interesting, unusual, or surprising, and to ask questions about them. Point out how content relates to personal interest and applies to everyday life. Let your student know that you believe they want to transfer their school learning to their everyday lives. Show that you enjoy your students. Try to be a guide, an enabler and fellow learner, and not a boss or a judge. You will find your support, love, and example to be valuable student motivator. The teacher as a motivator. Remind yourself at each stage of the teaching process that achieving effective motivation is at least half the task of involving your students in learning and applying content and skills, from a habit of approaching each element of lesson planning, preparation, and delivery with the intent to motivate your students. By forming students' perception of these tasks, your rapport with the students and reward structure you introduce to achieve this target, your reactions to the students and the classroom incidents will make a difference in the way and your students will respond. Train yourself to recognize your students' feeling accurately. This is a critical teaching skill, and to accept them positively. Since word choice and intonation send their own messages, you can use accepting rather than rejecting language. Try good morning, good to see you, rather than not you again. Effective measures are communicated non-verbally as well as verbally. Non-verbal communication consists largely of the facial expression and the body language. Monitor your non-verbal responses carefully, since they may speak even more clearly to your students than your words. A smile or a nod at a critical point can work wonders. A shrug or a dismissive gesture can discourage a student from making the effort needed to succeed. Remember too that your feelings or moods affect your students' behavior. Your enthusiasm can vitalize your students, just as any show of apathy or boredom may infer the guidelines. Planning for motivation. Since students' attitudes toward their learning tasks can be shaped, professional teachers do not leave motivation to chance. They plan carefully to use the range of teaching competencies to provide their students with encouraging evidence, progress, and improvement feedback, to praise their efforts or achievements when they can do it sincerely, and to use appropriate rewards. By such planning, you will raise your students' confidence and self-esteem. and help them maintain their enthusiasm for learning while focusing on the ultimate goals